So it's so good to be with everybody. I am going to kick this evening off with some gentle mindful movement, and it's going to be in the form of some Tai Chi Qigong. You don't really need to know anything about it because when we do this, we play Qigong, so we don't take it real seriously. We will just do as best we can. And what's really important is self-care and taking care of yourself this evening, coming to this practice with whatever works for you. So if I do a movement that's not right for your body, modify it or just don't do it, you know? So it's really about just noticing what you need and taking care of yourself. And so there's 18 movements to the full practice. I'm going to do a selection. And there are cues on breathing, when to breathe, when not to breathe. But if this is brand new to you, just check in to see if you're holding your breath. I'd be happy with that, you know, but you know, if you're a little familiar with it, you might want to follow the breathing cues. And each movement has a name to it. If names are helpful, use them. If not, don't worry about it. There's just something that I use. So this can be sitting or standing. So I've selected movements that could be conducive to sitting. So if sitting works for you, I'll be demonstrating standing up. And I think that's it. So what I'm going to do is find my spot to stand in. And if you're going to be standing, just find a spot where you can move your arms around when they're stretched out. Let's see. Okay. Can everybody hear me? And if you have glasses on, and you don't need to look at the camera, you can take them off, but the movements are so gentle, I'm not really concerned about that too much. So we're going to just begin, and let me just adjust my camera just a tiny bit. We're going to begin by just feeling our feet on the ground. So whether you're sitting or standing, just feeling the feet connected to the floor. You might even lift your toes and wiggle them a little bit. And then just moving up the legs. If you're standing, having the knees softened, belly soft. And just taking in a nice, slow, deep breath. And so we can just start by just getting some movement into the arms. You can swing them gently back and forth. If you're sitting in a chair that's got sides on it, you might modify and just sort of go across just to loosen the arms up just a little bit. And so allowing the arms to just wind down a little bit. And so our first movement is going to be called waving hands by the lake. So we're just going to raise our arms up, and then when they get to the top, just float them back down. And I'll stand sideways a little bit. So raising them up. And if you're standing, you can even, as you're coming down, bend the knees slightly. So breathing in and breathing out. And just one more time. And just pausing for a moment. The next one is called opening the heart to what is. We're floating the arms up, opening out, floating them back, and then floating them down. So breathing in and breathing out. And remembering we don't have to take ourselves real seriously in this. We're just playing Qigong. So if you're doing something slightly different than what I'm doing, that's just a variation. And then just allowing the arms to come down by your sides and pausing for a moment. And maybe noticing sensations in the arms just from those few movements. Notice how the arms are feeling at your side. Noticing the breath. So the next one is called Parting the Clouds. So we're going to bring the arms in front of the legs, raise them up, and then part the clouds. So crossing the palms in front of the legs, raising up. So you can breathe in as you're coming up and breathe out as you're going down. And just pausing. The next one is called Lotus Leaves, Rustling in the Wind. So having your elbows bent, your palms facing up, fingers soft. And what we're going to do is just push out gently at an angle. And when you extend your arm, it's almost like turning a doorknob and then pulling back gently. So just pushing out and then coming back. Breathing in, breathing out. And if you're not following breaths in time with the movement, just simply notice if you're holding your breath and just softening and allowing the breath to flow naturally. And just one more. And just pausing. Noticing if there's any obvious areas of holding or tension in the jaw or the belly or the shoulders, and just placing an invitation to soften those areas as best you can. It's just an invitation. And next we're going to raise the sun. So we're going to scoop it up out of the ocean and raise it into the sky. So breathing in and breathing out. And just one more. And just pausing. So for this next movement, we're going to just step one foot, just if you're standing, step one foot out just a couple inches in front of the other. And we're going to bring our arms, our hands up to about shoulder length. And we're going to rock forward and push the waves. And then come back. And in Tai Chi Qigong, as we're making these movements, you can picture moving the energy with your hands, if that supports you. So just sort of moving energy as you come back and forth. And the next time you go out, as you come back, we're going to spread our wings and fly like a dove. And then just step both feet back together, pausing for a moment, noticing sensations in the body. So next we're going to gaze at the moon. And this is very similar to lifting the sun out of the ocean. So what we're going to do is hold our hands sort of like we're holding a beach ball. Feet slightly more than hip width apart. And just turn and look between the fingertips as you're gazing at the moon. Coming back and gazing at the other side. And just one more. And returning to center. Breathing in, breathing out. And the last move we're going to do is scooping the fragrance of the earth. So we're going to take our hands and scoop up the fragrance of the earth, carry it up across the body, and then spreading it down. So scooping, breathing in, breathing out. And this time, as you come up, allowing the hands to rest right below the belly button. And just notice the breath here. Notice the body standing, breathing, or sitting, breathing. And so we close out this practice by taking the left hand and making it into a gentle fist, taking the right hand. So the left hand is the moon and the right hand is the sun, and they come together. Thank you all so much. It's been a pleasure.